The lands of Anatolia have a very deep history. This history is full of mystery and magic. For thousands of years, people here have believed in unseen forces. They believed that certain people could control these forces. These people were the first magicians, shamans, and healers. They used rituals, herbs, and special words to connect with the spirit world. This was not just a belief, it was a part of daily life. People went to them for healing, for good fortune in the harvest, or to protect themselves from evil spirits. The soil of Turkey is rich with these ancient stories and practices. Magic in ancient Anatolia was connected to nature. The sun, the moon, the stars, and the rivers were all seen as powerful entities. Early civilizations like the Hittites had complex magical rituals. They wrote these rituals down on clay tablets. Their priests and priestesses performed ceremonies to please the gods and to understand the future. They practiced divination, which is the art of seeing what is to come. They would look at the liver of a sacrificed animal, or the patterns of birds in the sky. These practices show a deep desire to understand and influence the world around them. When the Greeks and Romans arrived in Anatolia, they brought their own gods and magical beliefs. Sanctuaries like the one for Apollo in Didyma became famous centers for prophecy. People traveled long distances to hear the words of the oracle. Magic was also used for more personal reasons. People created curse tablets, small lead plates with wishes for bad things to happen to their enemies. They would also buy amulets and charms for protection. This mixing of different cultures created a very rich and diverse magical tradition that continued to evolve over many centuries. This long history shows that magic was never just one thing. It was a combination of religion, medicine, and a way to deal with the uncertainties of life. The people of ancient Anatolia did not see a clear line between the physical world and the spiritual world. For them, magic was a real and practical tool. It helped them make sense of their existence and gave them a sense of control over their destiny. These ancient beliefs laid the foundation for how magic would be understood and practiced in the later periods of Turkish history, creating a legacy that is still felt today. However, with the arrival and spread of Islam in Anatolia, the view on magic changed dramatically. In Islam, practicing magic, known as sihir, is considered a major sin, or büyük günah. The Quran strongly warns against magic, especially in verses like Surah Al-Baqarah 2:102, which describes magic as a source of harm and misguidance. According to Islamic teachings, those who practice magic are believed to be turning away from faith and can face severe religious and legal consequences. In Ottoman times, religious courts could issue harsh punishments for those found guilty of practicing magic, including imprisonment, exile, or even execution in extreme cases. Even today, many religious scholars in Turkey emphasize that magic is forbidden, haram, and warn believers to avoid it, urging repentance and seeking forgiveness if one has been involved in such practices. This strong stance against magic in Islam has shaped both the religious and legal attitudes in Turkey for centuries, creating a clear boundary between ancient magical traditions and the teachings of the Islamic faith. During the Ottoman Empire, magic and superstition were widespread. The palace itself was a center for such beliefs. Sultans often consulted astrologers and soothsayers, known as Münechimbaşı. These individuals held official positions and were highly respected. They would interpret dreams, predict the future based on the stars, and determine the most auspicious times for important state events, like launching a military campaign or starting the construction of a new mosque. This shows that belief in supernatural forces was not limited to the common people. It reached the highest levels of power and influenced the course of the empire's history. In the daily life of Ottoman society, people turned to magic for many reasons. They sought help from healers and magicians for health problems, love troubles, and financial difficulties. A common practice was writing muska, which are amulets containing verses from the Quran or special symbols. These were believed to protect the wearer from harm, illness, and the evil eye, or nazar. Coffee fortune-telling, or kave fala, also became a very popular form of divination. Women in particular would gather to drink coffee and have their fortunes read from the patterns left in the cup. a social ritual that continues to this day. With the establishment of the Turkish Republic in 1923, there was a major shift. The new government, led by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, promoted science, rationality, and secularism. Old religious and mystical institutions were closed. Laws were passed to ban practices like fortune-telling and sorcery. The official view was that these were backward superstitions that belonged to the past. The goal was to create a modern, westernized society based on reason, not magic. This official campaign pushed the practice of magic into the shadows, but it did not make it disappear completely. Despite the state's efforts, these beliefs continued to exist in a more private sphere. People did not stop believing in the power of the evil eye or the effectiveness of certain rituals. The practices just became less visible. They were passed down within families or practiced secretly in small communities. The Republic created a new official culture, but the older, deeper culture of folk beliefs and magic survived beneath the surface. This created a tension between the modern secular identity of the state and the persistent traditional beliefs of a large part of the population. In modern Turkey, the relationship with magic is complex and full of contradictions. On one hand, it is a modern, technologically advanced country. On the other hand, ancient beliefs and practices are still very much alive. You can see this easily in daily life. Many people, from all social classes, still believe in the evil eye. They hang blue Nazar Bonku beads in their homes, cars, and workplaces for protection. This is not always seen as a deep magical belief. Sometimes it is just a cultural tradition. However, its widespread presence shows how these ideas continue to be a part of the national psyche. Today, people who practice magic or fortune-telling are often called medium or psychic, and falke or fortune-teller. They operate in various ways. Some have small shops in old neighborhoods, while others use the internet and social media to reach clients. They offer services like tarot card reading, palm reading, and coffee fortune-telling. Many cafes now have resident fortune tellers. People visit them seeking guidance on love, career, and family matters. These practices are officially illegal, but they are mostly tolerated, existing in a legal gray area. They have become a part of the urban landscape and a form of entertainment or alternative therapy for many. The interest in magic is not just about traditional practices. There is also a growing interest in New Age and Western esoteric traditions. Yoga, meditation, astrology, and energy healing have become very popular, especially among the urban, educated classes. People attend workshops and buy books on these subjects. This new form of spirituality is often presented in a modern, scientific-sounding language. It is seen as a way of self-improvement and finding inner peace in a fast-paced world. This shows that the human need to connect with something beyond the material world is finding new expressions in contemporary Turkish society. The role of magic in society is a subject of debate. Some see it as a harmless cultural tradition or a form of psychological support. Others view it as dangerous exploitation of vulnerable people. News stories sometimes report on fraudulent magicians who scam people out of large sums of money. At the same time, television shows and movies often feature magical themes, which both reflects and fuels public interest. Ultimately, magic in Turkey today occupies a space between tradition and modernity, belief and skepticism, the public and the private, showing its remarkable ability to adapt and survive through the ages. Turkey's landscape is filled with stories and legends of magic. One of the most famous tales is that of the Shah Maran, the Queen of Serpents. The legend says she was a wise and beautiful creature, half woman and half snake, who lived in a subterranean kingdom. She possessed great knowledge of medicine and magic. A young man named Kamsab accidentally discovered her realm and fell in love with her. The story is a powerful allegory about love, betrayal, and the hidden wisdom of nature. The image of the Shah Maran is still a popular motif in art and crafts, especially in the southeastern region of the country, a testament to the enduring power of this magical myth. Another powerful set of legends revolves around the figure of Huzur, or Al-Qidr. Huzur is a mysterious and immortal guide who appears to people in need. He is not exactly a magician, but he possesses supernatural abilities and wisdom. He can appear as a poor old man or a traveler, testing the kindness of those he meets. If they are generous, he rewards them with blessings, luck, or helps them out of a difficult situation. The belief in Huzur is very strong in folk Islam and Alevi culture. Every year, people celebrate Hudrelas, a spring festival, hoping for a visit from Huzur to bring abundance and make their wishes come true. The jinns, or sin in Turkish, are also central to the magical folklore of the region. These are supernatural beings made of smokeless fire. Unlike angels or demons, they have free will and can be good, evil, or neutral. Stories about jinns are common across the country. People believe they can inhabit old houses, lonely places, or even possess humans. Many magical practices are aimed at either summoning jinns to do one's bidding or protecting oneself from their malevolent influence. These tales serve as cautionary stories, teaching moral lessons and explaining strange or unfortunate events that happen in life. In conclusion, the meaning of magic in Turkey has changed, but its presence is constant. It began as an ancient way to understand the cosmos. It became a part of imperial court life and popular superstition in the Ottoman era. It was pushed into the background by the secular republic, but it never vanished. Today, it has re-emerged in new forms, mixing old traditions with modern spiritual trends. From the protective blue eye bead to the stories of the Shamaran, magic remains a vital thread in the rich cultural fabric of Turkey. It is a mirror reflecting the country's deep history and its ongoing conversation with the mysteries of life.